Becky Lynch's return has been rumored for quite some time now, and it appears fans may be one step closer to seeing the man step back into the ring. Over the past few months, Becky Lynch herself has been dropping hints about her big comeback. The Irish superstar seems to have switched up her look recently. Whilst away from WWE, Becky Lynch changed to a more natural blonde and brunette mixed hair color. However, her hairstylist has uploaded a photo of Lynch to Instagram, sporting her classic long orange wavy hair, with the caption, "She's back. Thank you at Balamahair and at Goldwellis for the win today on at Becky Lynchwe." Now that she has reverted to her signature fiery hairstyle, this may mean that Becky Lynch is returning imminently to WWE. SummerSlam is just weeks away, and WWE has also recently welcomed fans back to shows. Fans have already seen the huge return of multi-time champion and crossover star John Cena, who stepped up at the end of Money in the Bank. The WWE Universe has been eager for Lynch to come back, and it could be the perfect time for the man to step back into the title picture. At the Royal Rumble pay-per-view back in January, Becky Lynch sparked return rumors when she tweeted a photo of the backstage curtain during the event. Lynch did not turn up in the WWE ring, but her real-life partner Seth Rollins did during the men's Royal Rumble match. Lynch also teased her fans on the weekend of WrestleMania 37. She posted a picture to Instagram showing herself working out. The location was tagged as Tampa Bay, where the event was taking place, and the first letters of her caption spelled out Night 1. She later tweeted that she was kidding and congratulated Bianca Belair and Sasha Banks on their history-making main event. More recently, the former Raw Women's Champion posted a photo of herself outside the arena for the most recent WWE pay-per-view, Money in the Bank. She was also photographed running by the arena by a fan. Do you think that Becky Lynch will be returning to WWE soon? Who would you like to see the man challenge? Comment below. Following recent reports that former WWE superstars Daniel Bryan and CM Punk are heading to AEW, rumors have emerged stating that Brock Lesnar has signed a contract with AEW. The rumors began after someone posted on the Wrestling Observer newsletter message board that a reliable 20-year source told them that the Beast Incarnate had signed a deal with a wrestling company outside of WWE. This has caused many fans to speculate that Brock Lesnar is on his way to AEW. Speaking on the latest episode of the Mat Men podcast, Andrew Zarian put the rumors to bed by revealing that Lesnar hasn't signed any deal with the promotion. "I can tell you right now that Brock Lesnar has not signed with AEW," said Zarian. "They have spoken maybe once in passing, nothing serious whatsoever. Everybody that I asked about this, they laughed. That's all I know. I can only tell you what they've said to me. I also know that Dave Meltzer said that it is not true. Brock has not already signed with AEW. Brock Lesnar made his last WWE appearance at WrestleMania 36 Night 2, where he lost his WWE Championship to Drew McIntyre in the main event of the show. It was rumored that the Beast would return to WWE to challenge Bobby Lashley for the title at SummerSlam, but unfortunately the plans didn't work out. According to a new report by Andrew Zarian, WWE is still interested in bringing the Beast back. Brock is not signed with WWE, said Zarian. I know WWE wants him. I have to just say, if I'm WWE, how the hell do you let him go, if this is the case? And it's not. I'm not saying that it is beyond stupid. A lot of people have said that this is an indicator that WWE are trying to sell, and yes, you try and save as much money as possible when you're selling, but you also have to sell at your peak earnings. As much money as you can possibly make. You've got to make the company look the best that it possibly can, he added. You're not going to let all of these top talents go, if you're selling it. You'd want to stockpile them. A couple of years ago when they were stockpiling talent, I'd say yeah, maybe they are getting ready for a sale, because you want to have the most stacked roster. I don't believe this story about Brock Lesnar going somewhere. Instead, Bobby Lashley will be colliding with former Universal Champion Goldberg at the biggest party of the summer for the WWE Championship. That means the long-anticipated showdown between the Beast and the Almighty will remain a dream match for much longer. Would you prefer to see Brock Lesnar return for a match with Bobby Lashley? Or is Lesnar in AEW more intriguing? Let us know in the comments below. The Rock had major praise for WWE Hall of Famer Bret Hart during his latest interview with Joseph Deckelmeyer of the Illuminati. The Rock and his Jungle Cruise co-star Emily Blunt recently chatted with Joseph Deckelmeyer, and the Great One brought up former WWE Champion Bret Hart's name upon noticing a Bret Hart t-shirt that Deckelmeyer was sporting. The Rock took his time explaining to Emily Blunt the kind of impact Hart had on him back in the day. "One thing before we leave, and you'll appreciate this. The t-shirt he's wearing is a guy who didn't have to be. But he was so good to me when I was a rookie professional wrestler, and his name was Bret the Hitman Hart. Comes from a very famous wrestling family, but at that time, he was world champion, and there were a lot of guys in that world at that time, in '96, that didn't necessarily embrace me. just when I was a rookie coming in, because everyone's hungry for the spot, and there's a lot of sharks in the water, but that guy, Bret, and he was world champion, showed me, like, how it's done," said The Rock. When Emily Blunt asked The Rock his thoughts on why Hart was so supportive of him, here's what the Brahma Bull had to say: "I think he knew that our families knew each other, knew that I came from a lineage of pro wrestling, and that I have a real love and respect for wrestling, and he was just a great guy, and I always like to give him props where I can," explained The Rock. It's not exactly a secret that Bret Hart was incredibly supportive of The Rock back when the Hollywood megastar was an inexperienced rookie in WWE. Bret Hart claimed that Triple H and Shawn Michaels wanted to ruin The Rock's standing on the roster, and that the game wanted Hart to defeat the young gun for the Intercontinental title. AEW star Chris Jericho has confirmed Bret's past comments about how The Rock was being targeted by Shawn Michaels and Triple H at the time. The Rock's comments about Hart garnered tons of positive coverage on social media, with fans praising him for remembering Bret's gesture towards him long before he became one of the biggest names in the entertainment industry. WWE Chairman Vince McMahon isn't thrilled with CM Punk and Daniel Bryan's rumored AEW signings, as per Andrew Zarian on the Mat Men Pro Wrestling podcast. It has been a while since Sean Ross Sapp reported that CM Punk and AEW were in talks for a possible return for the former WWE champion. Around the same time, it was reported that WWE veteran Daniel Bryan was on his way to AEW. Andrew Zarian had the following to say in regards to Vince McMahon's backstage reaction to the two megastars possibly signing with AEW. "There's a lot of rumors that Vince is very upset and management is very angry. How could they have these two go? I think Daniel Bryan is the disappointment for them, CM Punk not so much. There's no buzz that I'm hearing coming from the office side that we FD up by not signing him. There's a lot of people that think his stock is not what it normally would be. They think his UFC losses hurt him. A lot of people worked with him when he was very unhappy, and I think that's the memory that they have. I'm saying for management, not the talent. I think the talent knows what a big deal this is." Vince McMahon and CM Punk aren't exactly strangers. Punk competed in the 2014 Royal Rumble match and quit WWE immediately after. Punk later revealed that Vince McMahon was in tears during their final meeting. Punk was one of the biggest stars in wrestling when he left, and is still a big name in the business 7 years after his WWE exit. Daniel Bryan turned into one of the biggest WWE superstars in history during his stint in the promotion. The Yes Movement angle on the road to WrestleMania XXX in 2014 is still talked about by fans to this day. Bryan last wrestled for WWE in a Universal title match against Roman Reigns on the April 30, 2021 edition of SmackDown. Vince McMahon is reportedly furious, but the majority of wrestling fans are excited at the possibility of these two big names going to AEW. What do you think? What would be your reaction to seeing Punk and Bryan appear on AEW TV?